What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? We're the Third String Podcast back with another jam-packed, amazing episode today. This is the Dirk Nowitzki episode.
Oh, nice.
41.
Nice, 41.
That was his number, right?
That was his number, yes.
41. Episode 41.
Nice.
Daryl gets there, as always. What do you have for us today?
All right, so we discussed a little bit about this last week, but we're going to get on this a little more. It looks like more and more the Washington Redskins are going to change their name.
It'll happen. Do you think it'll happen before the season starts or by the season?
I think like a couple weeks ago, I would have said it's going to be after the season.
I think so. That's my guess.
I think it's happening before because this thing is ramping up.
Yeah, because I don't think anybody could actually rock Redskins on anything. Yeah,
Amazon,
Nike
reported to take Washington Redskins stuff off their site, so you can't even from no site you can't even order Washington Redskins stuff. But
and FedEx backed out.
Yeah, FedEx backed out, and everybody's making progress to change the name because we both agree it's a racial slur, right? It's derogatory, right? We both agree.
Just say it slowly. I mean, and just actually think about it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I was watching First Take. No, it was Undisputed. I'm sorry. And Skip Bayless said, I don't know if this is true or not because I didn't research it, but he said the Redskins name came from Cowboys were scalping the Native Americans when they basically went to war with them, and they would get money for like. If you had a male Redskin, you would get this amount. If you had a female, I think it was like 5 something lower the money. And then if you get a kid, you get this amount. So the number came from scalping them, is what he said. And if that's true, then that definitely should be changing the name, right?
True or not, just in general, you know what it is. It should not be.
It should not be the name, right? Well, one person doesn't think it's derogatory.
Yep.
Is your man, the president of the United States.
He's not my man, just for the record.
This is his tweet. Yeah, just I don't want nobody to attack us.
No.
My bad. But this is his tweet, and I just want you to respond to his tweet. It says they name teams out of strength, not weakness. But now the Washington Redskins and Cleveland Indians, 2 fabled sports franchises, look like they're going to be changing their names in order to be politically correct. Indians, like Elizabeth Warren, must be very angry right now. I don't know why. I mean, him attacking Elizabeth Warren just makes him look bad anyway.
Right.
One thing, like everybody wants somebody who can like snap back, but his joke's not even funny. So they're not even like dope snapbacks. They're really like. So anyway, what do you feel about what the president has to say about this name? Is it out of strength? We're naming them out of strength.
Most names of like I will say most names are supposedly like something of power. They are. Like you're not gonna have anything soft or anything. The weird thing, I guess, the Jazz Utah, that one's kind of on the softer end.
Right.
It's just kind of mellow, but I guess during that time there was strength.
Was kind of soft.
Actually, dang. That's probably. Where did they even get that?
I don't know. I didn't understand that one, but go ahead.
So with that being said, that's a new wave.
Right.
It doesn't have to be that anymore. It just has to flow. But yeah, the Pelicans, that sounds the Eagles, there's like no Eagles in the league.
Right.
Right? So I mean, as far as basketball.
So
they could have done that easily. But yeah, Pelicans, that's weak. So with that being said, I don't think it matters. I think that's an old set like mindset to go off of strength per se. The power would come from the organization, the money. Like I don't know. I just don't think he needs to comment on everything.
I think he makes situations a lot worse. First of all, if Skip Bayless is correct, then where the name came from is already racist. People have Republicans always put this. I think it was 9 out of 10 Native Americans don't mind the name, but that actually got debunked. And I believe it was like 74%. My numbers might be off. Found the name derogatory, especially in the young generation. So if that's the case, naming somebody.
Real quick disclaimer: we're not taking any side. This is not a political stance of anything.
But we do agree that the name should change.
Yes.
I agree that this is a derogatory name and it should change. And then even to do Indians when they didn't even like being called Indians because Christopher Columbus thought he was in India. That's why he called them Indians. So they said, no, call us Native Americans because we were the first ones here. So even calling them Indians is not politically correct. Right? So no, yes, and naming them off of a race of people.
Yes.
Like, really? This is like, you can sit here and we could talk about the Golden State Warriors. We could talk about the Atlanta Braves. We could talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. But those can get away with because Warriors, Braves, that can be like, somebody in war. That doesn't mean a Native American. But the Chiefs even are at least a leadership role within the tribe.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's in a way honoring.
It's honoring them. Redskins is not.
Each time you say that, it shocks me. Like, just thinking about it.
Looking at the Cleveland Indians logo. Remember the old logo with the Indian and the smile face?
Yes.
Now they just do a C, right?
Yes, correct.
If they don't then why would they do that if they didn't think it was derogatory, right? Why would they only do C? If the Indian was honoring them, then why are they only doing the C?
No, that one even though like as far as the logo, it wasn't bad. They changed it to a C recently because they came under fire, like a lot of places did. Even Washington Redskins did, but they keep just like being terrible. People keep forgetting about them, so they just keep passing by. But it's not going to happen again. Also, what was it? The Blackhawks, or what was it?
Oh, the Blackhawks. I forgot about this. The Blackhawks, the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah.
I forgot about. Yes. Dang, how did I forget that? I don't even know. See, I think anything off of a Native American should be changed.
Off of a race. No, off of a race. Which just so happens to be deemed like aimed towards them, but just off of a race that like it's obvious it shouldn't be a name after that.
Yeah, and then when I read, one of my favorite things I told you is reading comments. I love reading comments because I kind of base how America is off this comments. Well, let me say a segment of America. So a lot of people
I know some of those Instagram comments started getting a little interesting early on when we started posting more. What was it about Matt Ryan? Something like that. Like people were saying we should be thankful. Like I'm thankful now. I get it. But like before, it was a different perspective.
Yeah, different perspectives. But so the comments were basically like, oh, they've been the Redskins all this time. Why change is a part of it? That's what, and I'm going to say it. That's what a lot of white people's argument is. It's a part of history. Why should we change it?
Yes.
History changes all the time. The Washington Bullets, they were, you know what I'm saying, are now the Washington Wizards. We all thought that was a stupid name when they created it, but now we're fine with it.
Which one? The Wizards?
Yeah, the Wizards.
Name? Oh, yeah.
It was a stupid name. But they had, in football, the New York Titans, Houston Oilers, Dallas Texans. You know at one point, the Baltimore Ravens were the Cleveland Browns.
Yes.
So to sit here and act like history doesn't change, that's why I posted on my social media, you guys will be all right. Because it changes all the time. So here's names that I like for the Washington Redskins. I think Warriors is fine. Warriors is probably an easy transition.
The Warriors. Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, that's an easy transition, right?
Yeah. It flows.
Yeah, it flows. Some people had did the Red Tails, the Generals, even though that's the Harlem Globetrotters own that.
Yeah.
They own
so
they will have to buy it from them. Yeah. I like Pigskins. I like that because that is an easier transition.
I don't see that one though.
Okay. But there's options to change the name, but it looks like it's going to change because Ron Rivera is now talking about it.
Yeah.
Snyder is more talking about it. And what I told you last week is, wouldn't you make more money if people have to buy new stuff? If I named you the Washington Warriors and now I got to buy Washington Warriors gear.
Yeah.
That's more money.
I just think that's the best one though.
I do too. I think it's the best one. And this is my final point about people who think we should change the name because it's history. They name the Atlanta Falcons right now the Cobb County Velociraptors. And I will sit there and say that is an idiotic name. It's stupid. That doesn't make sense.
But you know what I'm going to do 5 years from now?
Get a jersey.
Like, so the act.
You said Velociraptors.
Yeah. To sit here and act like I'm so immersed in his name. You know what they do that to? You know what white people do that to? The Confederate flag. The same exact argument.
5 years, man.
5 years. So that moves on to another tweet
the
president made that I want to discuss. Let me find it again. Give me 1 second. It's about NASCAR and Bubba Wallace.
Yes.
And it was basically asking him to I thought I had it up, but it was basically asking him to apologize to NASCAR because of the so-called hoax. And
hoax. Where have I heard that from before?
Maybe the coronavirus?
Maybe. Maybe. It could be that. Yeah.
So the so-called hoax, and that said that the people that were NASCAR was standing by him as they sacrificed everything.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look for the initial tweet because I don't want to paraphrase.
Yeah.
But what's your comment, and while you're telling me your comment, I'm looking for this tweet.
In regards to the tweet, or in regards, you said the tweet?
Yeah, the tweet. And I have the tweet up if you want to hear it.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
All right, Donald Trump said, has Bubba Wallace apologized to all those great NASCAR drivers and officials who came to his aid, stood by his side, and were willing to sacrifice everything for him, only to find out that the whole thing was just another hoax. That and flag decision was caused lowest ratings ever.
Okay. First of all, he saw the image, the picture, whatever, from somebody in his camp. You're going to trust somebody in your camp.
And we saw the picture. Me and you saw the picture.
And we saw the picture. We saw the picture, and why would I not do something or say something about it? So there's that. There's no debate on that.
Right.
There's that. Then people coming to his aid that you would never have thought would have done that. Why would I apologize or take that back when there is unity in the sight of, like, you never thought these people would have my back?
Right.
So I think that's a positive thing.
Right.
It can't be a hoax if, like, we saw proof of it.
Right.
Now, as far as misinterpretation of what it was supposedly about, which I still don't believe, and I think it's foolishness, that I was used to pull down the garage. Right. Okay. A little too perfect. Somebody has a history of
nice
something.
It was a nice setup news.
It was a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it was a nice setup.
No, but it's ridiculous, I think. If he needs to apologize, if you want him to apologize, I don't know, you apologize first.
I think it's interesting that you got the only black person involved in here to apologize. He didn't report it. He didn't even see it.
Yeah.
It was his crew member, and then they reported to NASCAR. NASCAR did the investigation. That's very interesting that this Bubba Wallace didn't see it. He just heard about it, but he's the one that has to apologize. Only black guy has to apologize.
Right.
I want to pull up this. I want to say this tweet one more time because this is the part I want everybody listening to understand.
Yeah.
He said, to NASCAR drivers and officials who came to his aid, stood by his side, and were willing to sacrifice everything for him. I want you guys to understand that comment. Basically, what 45 is saying is white people standing up against racism is sacrificing everything. Is basically what this guy is saying. And I know you said earlier, we don't pick sides, but if anything that shows you that this guy is a racist, I don't know what more he could show you.
I mean, yes, in that regards, I'm with you on that. I was just saying in that last thing that there was no us as Third String Podcast. We're just talking about what it is, not leaning towards any political side. But in this, obvious is obvious.
Yeah, and I find that very interesting. And another thing, lowest ratings ever was a lie. Actually, their ratings went up 1.2%. So a little bit, their ratings actually went up. So so that was a lie. And then this over the Confederate flag, what I said before was 5 years, and it's all about white power, white supremacy, and owning slaves. Yet he's acting like by doing this, banning this flag, because NASCAR wants to broaden its horizon, right?
Yes.
any business wants to broaden their horizon.
For sure.
Why would they then promote a flag that alienates people?
Facts.
They wouldn't do it. So them banning the Confederate flag is actually good business sense.
Yes.
So him standing up for a flag after you would think that for a business person, he would just say, hey, man, at least they're trying to get more money. And he didn't even do that. He just catered to his base and said this most idiotic comment. Like, I just don't know what more he could show you that he's a racist. I agree. But we'll see in November. But we could talk.
We'll see, guys.
Yeah.
Just
we'll see.
The power of voting. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Whatever you just power of voting.
Another thing that's happening in the fall-ish, I guess it's fall. Basketball's coming back in the July fall? Or is that still summer? Okay.
It's still summer till September.
Okay.
I'm like
I was trying to pull that transition together.
So it's like unofficially, it's like August, like when football comes back, college football, we say fall.
Okay.
But like calendar wise, the end of September, like the 22nd so is still summertime. That's the last day of summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basketball's coming back. It's the end of July that is coming back.
Yeah. 31st.
Yep. Teams are already starting to report. Everybody but Kawhi Leonard because
really?
Yeah, because he said he had a family matter, but he's supposed to report a couple of days.
Did you see Joel Embiid?
No. What happened?
He traveled on the plane in a hazmat suit.
Oh, that guy's crazy. That guy's crazy. Also, you have people like Jamal Crawford and maybe Michael Beasley will be signing. Jamal Crawford has signed to the Nets. Michael Beasley might be signing to the Nets.
I wonder why somebody else didn't try and get him.
Yeah, I was shocked, but I heard Michael Beasley is really good friends with Kevin Durant. So Kevin Durant kind of pushed that. But what I'm just
really, like Crawford, Lakers.
Oh, Crawford. Something. I don't know. I think people just thought he was done, even though I think he averaged his last 3 games for like 35 points or something.
He's the ageless wonder, man.
He's in his late 30s. He's almost 40.
He's about to be 40.
Yeah, which is shocking.
But if you look, they showed all his team pictures. He looks the same. Even so,
black on crack. So,
man, it's a beautiful thing.
So what do you think of this basketball? Because even the bubble, there's supposed to be another bubble in Chicago. We talked about it last week with the ones uninvited.
First of all,
a bubble in Chicago.
Why are these bubbles in these certain states that are so high risk?
I was shocked, Chicago. I was very shocked.
Like Chicago hasn't opened up. Period. Florida's opened up. Chicago has not, and they're like going backwards. Just being real. My brother lives there right now.
Right.
Like, what are we doing?
I think you just keep them in the bubble, just like Florida. But I mean, when they talked about Florida at the time was going down.
But Chicago never did.
Right.
You I don't know. That's just me. But in regards to that,
what do you think basketball is going to look like?
Especially like, look at the lower half teams, right?
Right.
It's not going to be fun, Daryl. The Chicago Bulls, that's not going to be fun.
It's only going to be one team that's going to be fun, and that's our Hawks because
for us,
I think we need it.
But to be real, I'm gonna watch the whole game because we haven't had anything, and now I have something back.
Right.
But let's just be real. I know, guys. I don't even have to say this, so don't be. Oh, obviously, no. So when I say this, don't be like that. If you were gonna have, so I'll put it in this way. If I were gonna have how long will this be?
It'll be 2 months.
If I had a 2-month block, coronavirus didn't happen, all this stuff, just the regular NBA season, and I had a 2-month block of boring games, I'm not watching all this.
That's true.
I'm not watching all this.
That's
so
true.
It's, with that being said, the first 2 weeks might be interesting because we're getting something back that we miss and we love.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you watch again and you see it's a summer league game, how it feels and how it looks.
Worse. But don't you think it's even worse than a summer league game? Because like 2K did a simulation of how it might look, and it's like a wall is on one side. You know what I'm saying? They're playing like it's like LA Fitness. It's like literally like LA Fitness, and I'm just sitting there like.
So you have that mixed with terrible teams,
right?
I can't vibe with what. Do you have the list of like what who would be in that one?
Hold on.
Yeah,
let me look for it.
Okay, so while you're doing that, I just think it'll be bad. Okay, the Hawks. If the Hawks can pull out and just like have a great record at the end of the day. Also, I was thinking, would Vince Carter come back for this?
I don't think he would, man.
I don't think he should.
Why would you? I'm done.
Don't risk it.
I also thought not only does Vince Carter, Steve Kerr has said, I don't want to do this. Would he come back? So I have the teams. They're the hold on. My computer's freezing up. But Steve Kerr said he doesn't want
the Warriors really be in this?
Yeah, the Warriors would be. I don't think they would. I don't think they would accept it. And that brings me to my point. Is this going to be part of your record?
Ooh. Wait. Meaning if you in a good or bad way. And what I mean by that is if you're in a good standing right now for the draft, should you just like bow out?
That's what I'm saying. Is this going to matter for your record? Is what I want to.
There's no other reason to play. Because if it's working towards that for the top half that's going to Florida, it has to be equivalent for the bottom half.
So the teams that are invited, or well, not invited, the Atlanta Hawks, Atlanta Hawks, Golden State Warriors, the Chicago Bulls, New York Knicks, Cleveland Cavaliers, Charlotte Hornets, and Detroit Pistons.
So boring.
I thought it was another West team.
So boring.
Oh, Minnesota Timberwolves.
So boring.
So boring.
You're gonna have top players that you're gonna be just eyeing and you're gonna watch. All those teams have top players that are gonna drop numbers.
Right.
But as far as games, team sports, no.
Well, let me ask you, if you're the Hawks, why do you play Trae Young here? Because you only need like John Collins and Trae Young. Why do you play them? We only want to keep playing because you want the Bruno Fernandos, DeAndre Hunters, Cam Reddishes, maybe Kevin Huerters. You want and Capella to play the team.
All those teams that you're mentioning right there in that bottom half, none of the stars are playing. I'm saying if I'm in charge of each team,
right.
None of them are playing. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
But so let me question.
All I gotta say is Derrick Rose, 14.2 seconds left. They're already up in the game with the Chicago Bulls back in the day. Why was he still in the game?
Yeah, you talking about when he got hurt?
Yes. Don't do it.
Okay, so for a team, like I said, the Hawks we have the youngest team in the league, the youngest starting lineup. Clint Capella is our oldest player, and he's 25, 26.
It's just crazy.
In the starting lineup.
Yes.
They're going to go 5 months without basketball. Don't you think that will hurt their development?
Okay. So you said 2 months. This will be 2 months.
2 or 3 months, depending. I think it's 2, 3.
How many games are they trying to play?
I don't know. I don't know if they have it fully together for that bubble.
What about the top division?
I think it's 10 games and then goes into the playoffs.
I don't get that. I get it, but I don't get it. 10 in playoffs, cool. Right. Why are we playing a whole quarter of a season over here?
Because they're
for nothing. It matters nothing. It matters for nothing.
Complained.
Huh?
The Hawks complained.
Yeah, it's so stupid. It's stupid.
What I think should have happened is maybe you should have asked teams if they like the bottom teams if you guys wanted to participate, even though.
First of all, if they ever say participate, then I'm like that's a no.
Because they're not because the teams that are still there are fighting for playoff spots. Like the Hawks have no chance to be in the playoffs. No chance.
I'm not playing.
I just don't want. But if you're Cam Reddish, shouldn't you still play?
LA Fitness Gym. No. I get you. I don't want risk of injury.
Yeah,
it's not worth it. We don't even know when the season's starting back next year. Let's say it starts back on time, so they're gonna start around Halloween.
No, they already pushed it. It's starting around Christmas.
Okay, right. Okay, so that's a long time.
Right.
But I think you just gotta enjoy your family.
And that's why, if that's the case, then I'm like, either start with the playoffs or just go into next season.
I'm already well, not the next season part, but I say start with the playoffs.
But listen, anyway, this is not gonna look good. Can you just imagine LA Fitness? All right, we all played at LA Fitness, right? Just imagine the Lakers winning a championship in LA Fitness. Like, it's going.
There's an asterisk on that. There's already going to be on that championship.
But it's like, no matter, this is not going to be what we want. We're basically just getting whatever we can get. Instead of just saying, maybe we should fall back, just restart this thing, and let's just start it in November or December.
That's how I feel. Look, if you're bringing back the NBA, even though they're getting paid, yes. If we're talking about championships, then bring back track season. Bring back a college basketball season. March Madness can start in July.
Right.
Why not? Those kids got robbed.
Right.
Bring it back. Like, they don't get a chance. Those one and dones.
Right.
Kids,
they don't
get a win ring.
Well, I think they're happy. They don't.
I get it. No, well, no. Some do really care because, a lot of them do cry at the end if they don't get it. Like, let's just be honest. They want it. Because I would want it. I would want, oh man, one shot.
Yeah.
I get that.
Andre Hunter, he came back and then won it.
Yeah. But I'm saying one shot of, I'm going to do my freshman year of a chance to win a college national championship.
Right.
And I'm going straight pro, broke off, getting money. I care for the time being. But yes, that it got canceled. I know they don't care now. But I just say bring that back. But as far as NBA, this whole 10-game thing, I just think the lower half teams don't really have of the top bracket part. They don't really have a chance.
Right.
The Damian Lillards of the world, I feel you, man.
But that's why I would say, like, Bradley Beal said he's not coming back, and I understand that because they had no chance of catching him anyway. Why would you do that? Damian Lillard, I'm not mad at him for coming back, even though they're close. They're close to catching them, but I'm not mad if he doesn't come back.
Even though with that team, I would like to see them in stride. With that team, I want to see them catch fire and see what they can do.
You want to see Hoodie Mello in LA Fitness?
Oh my goodness. He actually thrives better in that.
Yeah.
Have you seen him actually ball out in that type of that man's incredible.
So this is where I disagree with you. I think it's important for the lower half to play because most of the teams that are in the bottom are young teams. New York is a young team. Detroit is a young team. Minnesota is a young team. So they have to have some type of.
You're looking at it from a GM standpoint.
No, I'm looking at it for a fan. You're pushing the Hawks timeline back by giving them 5 months off.
The coronavirus put the whole world back.
Yeah, but still, like, the Lakers are established. You're not worried about the Lakers. You're not worried about the Clippers coming back. You're not worried about Giannis. Like, our players were still developed.
But I promise you, as a fan, you at this point, like, let's just be honest. I get what I'm saying. I get what you're saying.
And I hope you get what you're saying.
Sometimes, I've said things and I'm like, that I changed my perspective. But you're going to want to see your favorite team. Right. Like we're saying, I want to see the Hawks. And obviously the Hawks have to play other people.
Right.
So you're going to see other teams. So other teams have to be involved. But I really don't want to see some of these other teams. I don't think we care.
No, I don't
think we care.
I don't think you care. I think
a massive amount of fan base that aren't fans of these other teams care.
No, but I think people in New York want to see the Knicks. People in Chicago want to see, just like I want to see the Hawks. I think that development-wise, I'm not saying I care because I want to see Hawks basketball. No, I'm caring because of the development of it. I'm afraid that 5 months off, how is that going to hurt? We are the youngest team in the league. Cam Reddish started off extremely slow, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
DeAndre Hunter started off slow. Cam Reddish was hurt. He didn't play the summer league. I think he played one game in the summer league or something like that. DeAndre Hunter, because of the trade, didn't play the summer league. Bruno Fernando, because of the trade, did not play the summer league. These are people who need seasoning. Like we both said last year before the season started, the Hawks should be fighting for the AC.
Yeah, and we thought it was going to happen.
They didn't do it because I blame John Collins, because if they would have won 5 more games or 6 more games,
they would have been invited to
Washington.
Yeah.
They would be in this bubble just by winning 5 more games.
That's crazy.
There. So, and you have to think that 25 game suspension, they would have won 5 games within that, right? You would have hoped, right? Yeah. 5 more games.
That's true. That's true.
I don't want to see. We already don't play defense.
Correct.
I don't want 5 months.
Which I told you that our coach he's going to get the boot.
Yeah, you.
Well, not now because of what's going on, but maybe so.
He said next year they should be going to the playoffs. So he's already put himself.
Okay. All right, Dan Quinn. Yeah. No, but I get you though. I not like again. I get it. Even though there could be some games where it's like crazy, like somebody shows out. You're gonna get people showing out. But
are you gonna feel intense though?
Huh?
Like the way it's set up. Let's say if it's a close game, you know how you feel that intensity
of the fans there. No. It could be boring on boring. Like just like by default, because no fans. They said they're gonna have fake noise.
Right.
They're gonna have fake fan sounds. Come on now.
How do you pretend when the sound comes on?
That's what I'm ready to. It's gonna get roasted so much on social media.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be.
But I'll say this though, before we move on to keep on pacing with the list of topics. I'm super excited for the top half, the playoff bound teams. I'm super excited for that.
I'm super excited for basketball. I just
think
that it's not going to be what we want, and I'm afraid if it's not what we want, should we even do it? So I just think I'm happy for basketball. Some type of I don't want to be so desperate that I accept anything, and I feel like that's what we're doing.
I think you have to be.
Yeah, and so it's still not going to be the same. And I just I'm like the Lakers won a championship, so you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. You won 10 games and then you went on and did first round, second round, whatever. Oh, cool. Like, that's not hard after a 4-month break.
Yeah, it's just like, So
that's like you being hot on fire at the beginning of a season, a regular season, and then by Christmas, you're like, I'm championship. I'm a champion. But then usually most teams will fall at the lower half of a season, or some that are bad will pick up steam. Yeah, so that's like you saying by Christmas break, by All-Star break, you're the world champion.
I'm already looking to the draft. I'm more interested to the draft than I am. I'm just happy to get basketball back, but then I just don't have high expectations for it. Let me say that.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But who should have high expectations is your boy, Patrick Mahomes.
Drop the name. Woo. I had to call you, Daryl, immediately when that broke.
Yep. I couldn't.
First, I see your boy, Mahomie.
Yeah.
10-year contract. I said, okay.
Yep.
I said, that's already incredible.
Yep.
Also, I question that's ridiculous because I'm like, why would you want to be at some place for a long time? Then I thought he's like 24, so 34. He still could play for so many more years after that.
Because look at Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, Tom Brady.
That's what I'm saying.
Philip
34 is Daryl. 34 for 32 to 34 are usually prime. Yeah. They have the intellect of a top QB, all that stuff. This man already at 24 has a 34 mindset of the game.
And a young man's cannon.
So imagine what his 34 will look like. But that's 10 years removed. Now, then everybody's speculating. And you're like, man, what's the numbers though?
That's what I said. I said, what is the number?
What's the number? So we hear some speculation. of 300, 400,000. You're like, whoa. I'm used to seeing $100-something million contracts for this, and that's mind blowing. And then you question at that point, do they deserve it?
Yeah.
Eli Manning getting $91 million. Does he deserve it?
Right.
Like, so you're like, okay, cool. That's crazy amount for a QB, NFL player, period, all that stuff. But they usually get that top money. Then I hit you up, and I hear that it's going to be worth over $400 million.
Yeah.
And then you break it down more, and you're like, wait, over 400 million?
How much over?
How much over?
Yeah.
And then finally you get the number of $503 million. And you're like, what am I doing wrong in life? What is life?
What is life? I mean, but doesn't he deserve? We all knew that the Chiefs were going to give him a blank check and say, "What do you want?"
I didn't expect that.
I think 10 years.
I've never seen that.
Right.
I've never seen
that. I think shocked us. 10 years, and this is averaging.
10 years, Daryl, is like a hockey contract.
Yeah, or baseball.
Yeah.
He is averaging $500 million. He's going to get $500 million if he gets every dime of this contract. He's going to average this year.
What did you ever find out what the guaranteed was?
I think the guaranteed. Let me look for it. I heard what the guarantee was.
Please. What I need to know what this is. Because usually the guarantee is incredible.
Yeah, the
guarantee. I've seen 50 mils. I've seen all that, and I'm like, you don't have to do anything. But a man that gets $503 million. We thought Steph Curry's 201 was crazy. We got a $300 million when Albert Pujols wanted a $300 million contract. We're like, yeah, you're not getting that. But $503 million.
It looks like almost 90. I don't know if it's right.
I would have negotiated 100. Give me 100 mil of that guaranteed.
I mean, but he deserves it because he.
I know what you're about to say, and I have something to say after that. Go ahead.
I mean, look what he's done. He's won.
I'm with you.
He's got to the playoffs twice. He was one false start. I mean, offsides penalty away from going to the Super Bowl,
which they were robbed from.
Yeah, and then goes to the Super Bowl and comes back and wins it.
Back and wins.
He
yes, he deserves it. Yeah. He deserves it.
Yes, he wants to get a blank check.
He deserves it. I'm not taking that away from him. So let me put this on record here. He deserves it. There's also another person who got a huge, massive contract, which was he was the high. He became the highest paid.
Real quick. It's $140 million guaranteed.
Bruh. That's people's whole Daryl. That's people's whole. That's top QB's 5-year contracts.
Right.
Not that's if they play throughout the whole thing, don't get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
This is I signed,
and
I get that in the bank account.
Guaranteed. It don't matter what you do.
Yo, you said 146?
No, 140.
140?
Yep.
Man. But anyways, okay. All right, sorry. that's crazy. Okay. Another man who before this contract was the highest paid QB.
Right.
Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
His first year was about a play or two, a play away from making it to the Super Bowl. His first year.
Okay.
So same thing, a play away. Second year wins the whole thing. Third year is 1 yard away from going or from winning it.
Right.
I paused there. Why didn't he get broke off? He did in his own in regards to what was happening during that time frame. He did. But we ain't never seen nothing like this Mahomes deal.
First of all,
So where did this money come from? And why doesn't anybody else have it?
So, first of all, this is a contract that's the first of its kind. So I don't think anybody thought a 10-year contract was even like, and then they have to guarantee his contract for the next year 15 months before. You know what I'm saying? So he has to they have to have a year to guarantee to the next year. Oh, so
that's because he isn't even done with this contract.
No, he's not even done. So it's a contract extension.
This is endorsements.
Also was a 5th round pick, and they had to sign basically the Legion of Boom in the defense. So they held off.
Oh, true, because Russell was still on that less than $1 million contract.
So then he got broke off, but I don't think anybody saw this coming. So let me ask you, since you're bringing up Russell Wilson, the next quarterbacks are like Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson. Does anybody get close to this?
No. Nobody's getting out of the 100 range. Nobody's getting in the 200s.
Not even Lamar, who already won MVP.
No.
I agree. Let me say this.
Also, let me say, how do you continue to pay other players moving forward?
I think your thought process is the quarterback is the best position, the most important position.
He needs people.
Yeah, but if you have a super great quarterback, which I think they do.
Yes,
first of all, they did sign Tyreek Hill. So they did sign Tyreek Hill to a pretty big contract. Yes. I don't know about Kelsey's contract. I'll have to look that up. But
let's just say that whole team's not going to be together for 10 years.
Yeah, but it's like if your quarterback is set, like the other stuff will draft and fall into place. Like Lamar Jackson, I think is a little bit easier to fill the team around Lamar because you don't need like high-priced running backs because he runs the ball so much. But that is exactly why Lamar Jackson
can't get a long-term contract. That's massive like that.
He will not get a 10-year contract. He'll probably get maybe 4
5.
But
5
he will
max.
10 years because he runs the ball entirely too much. Like my critique of Lamar Jackson, remember during the season, was I don't know if he could throw the ball if he has to.
Yes.
And so if he's going to always run the ball, if he runs the ball, he's fine. But he's going to take hits. Cam Newton is twice his size. And he
got worn down.
So Lamar Jackson,
Cam at that prime was everything.
So Lamar Jackson will have to learn. That's why I think if anybody's going to be close, it would probably be Deshaun Watson because Deshaun Watson can still stay in the pocket, even though Deshaun Watson is probably the third best out of them.
Mm-hmm.
But he stays in the pocket. He runs, but he still stays in the pocket. And he can throw.
So, yes.
And so Lamar Jackson, to get that, he's going to have to learn to stay in the pocket and throw.
Nobody's getting – all those guys are going to get that basic, that 90 to 100 and something $1 million. Nobody's getting anywhere. No.
I think how do you justify? Because first of all, if you're Lamar Jackson, you're like, uh-oh. Like if you're Lamar Jackson, that's what you're doing.
Lower that ego. You ain't getting nothing near Mahomes.
But you gun for it. Because
I agree. Get your money. Get your money, black man.
Also, if I was, yeah, exactly. But if I was the Baltimore Ravens, I would say, hold on, whoa. Even though both of y'all are MVPs.
You are not that.
Yeah, he had a Super Bowl where he was almost in a Super Bowl and went to one and won it. Yeah. Your only 2 playoff games, you lost.
And also, such a bad way. Like, let's be honest. The Ravens should have, from the regular season, they should have just run it up on the playoffs and all that stuff.
On the Titans, I thought the Chiefs would still beat Baltimore, but the Baltimore should have beat Tennessee.
Agreed.
They should have beat Tennessee. And because of that, this is why you're not going to get Mahomes money. Because of that. And
I think we can reevaluate it though if next season you do make it to the Super Bowl, and then I think you'll definitely get somewhere close if you win it.
Oh, definitely.
Now, I think making it gets you a huge contract if you're young. Making it gets you paid. Making it gets you paid young or old. But if he wins it, he'll get very close. He's not going to get it, but he'll get very close. Nobody's touching that.
I don't see anybody touching that. But I'm interested.
I don't even know about ever.
I'm interested on what like the Deshaun Watsons, Lamar Jacksons think. Like, because usually the next person gets higher than the last person.
That's true. Nobody's touching.
I'm thinking, like, if I'm Lamar Jackson, I'm like, dude, like, if I ball out, like, if I'm Deshaun Watson, I'm like, yo, I gotta ball out because look what they paying. Look what they like.
Bro, I feel you. I don't think you can get your hopes up like that. And I know Dak Prescott for sure can't get his hopes up.
Well, Dak Prescott got a different argument. He doesn't want the long-term deal. He wants a short deal, but the Cowboys want to sign him to a long-term deal.
That's correct.
And Dak doesn't want a long-term deal. And
I feel it.
Funny that the money for Dak hasn't came out yet. That's very shocking. Because usually the money gets leaked out of what they're talking.
I heard though it was something like 30-something mil a year.
Right.
It was like 31 mil a year they were trying to aim to give him, which is great for him. Take it. You guys aren't Mahomes.
He doesn't want long-term deal.
I want it. I don't blame him.
Nah, because he's anticipating the TV contracts will skyrocket, which makes the cap skyrocket. And then when his contract's up, he can re-up and get a bigger contract.
Yep. Keep taking small deals. Keep maxing on the next one.
That's what that's what LeBron did. That's what Kevin Durant did. Kept taking small deals until we could get that big contract.
It keeps growing. Look, this is LeBron's biggest deal. Out of like that's crazy.
Before we move on, real quick, how many Super Bowls you think the Chiefs could win?
Now that is a great question. In this sense, I signed that bandwagon tenure.
You did
over this last year. This was before they won. I signed it right on time.
Oh, you did. That was true. I was on Baltimore. You was on Kansas City.
That's true. In that sense, I want them to run it back. Obviously, I want the Falcons to win.
Right.
But for them, if they can get it back to back, I want that. Now, are you going 10 in a row? No,
but
if they can be a little bit of a Warriors team, but for football and just keep being there,
right?
I'd love that.
I would even say the Patriots just to be there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just be there.
To contend,
but you don't want to be there like the Buffalo Bills.
No, and lose four times.
Lose like 1 for 4, 1 for 5. Right, you don't want to do that. You want to at least kind of break even or one up that.
Right.
So 3 out of 4 or 2 out of 4. But just making it in general, I'm hyped about.
I think 2 Super Bowls during this 10 years would be great. That'd be 3 total. I think he can't do. I mean, NFL is still hard. It's still like so.
I think you need 3. I think you need 3 out of 10 years.
So that means
it would be longer than that because you got to think they already won it. So you're adding the 10. So out of 11, technically. Right. I think you have to get 3.
So you're saying 4 total?
4 total, yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm saying 3. I mean, we're still in the same realm because the NFL is still hard, but I think
you can't rock with 2. You can't.
Well, he can't be. First of all, he can't be Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. You can't win when you're young and never win again. So it can't be that. You definitely can't be that. Yeah. You have to win multiple Super Bowls. The crazy thing is that Pat Mahomes is good enough to do that.
If that team can just, stay together, stay healthy, they'll go back next year. There's no team already right now that's better than them. There's no team.
No, not all around. Like the only one.
There's no team.
Baltimore is the only one that could probably.
If Lamar can be what he is during the playoffs, yes. Yeah. And I know he'll develop that.
He has to prove it.
Get that out of his system before, and he did, and hopefully he learned from that. I agree. I feel like you'll have back and forth from those two for a long time coming. They're so young.
Man, it would have been dope to have. Even though I stand by our quarterback. It would have been dope. It would have been dope to have one of those young quarterbacks. Speaking of, so the football has outlawed jersey swaps for the season. how do you feel about them outlawing jersey swaps?
It was nothing I really thought about, but when I saw the announcement, I was like, oh, I get it. Like after, so what this is, guys, is at the end of the games, like for somebody like say Daryl's on another team, I have respect for him. We're cool, all that stuff. So I may swap my jersey later on, sign it, but at that moment, at the end of the game, I take off my jersey, hand it to you. You do the same thing. Give me your jersey. We take pictures. We take it home. All that stuff. I always thought it was weird. Period. Unless it was like like an idol, like you played Kobe,
right?
You swap with him, he has yours, and I'm like, dang. Then you go later on and visit, you're like, dang, he has my jersey on his wall. Like I'm that good. I get that, but if it's some average dude,
right?
I never understood that,
right?
But I get it though in regards to this, like I get it and I don't. Like I'm not putting it on right now, and also I don't think they watch it, so.
That's a good question. I don't know if they watch it.
I don't think they watch it, even though I think that's a whole nother weird realm in itself. Right. Like I want this like game worn, authentically his sweats on it. That's weird to think about, but I don't think they watch it. But if they do watch it, cool. All I'm doing is holding it with my hand, putting it in my jersey or my bag, and I'm taking it home. So I don't think it's that deep.
I also think. Remember when first of all, they're doing this because of coronavirus. They don't want people close to the.
Yes, I forgot. Yes.
Which really doesn't make sense when you're at a team that in a huddle that during the play the linemen are all next to each other. They're not 6 feet apart, and you have to tackle people to.
Yeah,
it's a weird
concept. You're allowed to be around your own.
Yeah. So, but that doesn't. Because they're testing people constantly. For this thing to work, you have to test people constantly. To say that I can do all this, I can tackle you, I can be in a huddle.
Or even the offensive line and defensive line. They're right.
Exactly. How close they are, but I can't jersey swap. Doesn't make sense. And the problem is, remember in lockdown when, everybody shut everything down? How many times did you go on social media and see like somebody do a house party or a block party?
Yeah, a lot.
So people are gonna still do it. So that's what I'm saying. Like people are not gonna stop doing this. Like
no, they're not gonna stop doing it. But all this is for TV. All it is for TV. The reason, because that usually happens on TV.
Right.
They don't want that to happen on TV, and then you're watching at home, or the Karens and Chads watching at home, and they're like, oh my goodness, why is he doing that? He's gonna catch like they don't want that to be on TV. They're gonna do it all day.
Yeah, so what if I do this? What if me and you on separate teams, I toss you my jersey, you toss me mine? Like, can that happen?
From 6 feet?
Yeah, from 6 feet away, just toss it.
They're gonna say no.
Like
it's gonna happen in the locker rooms, it's gonna happen in the hallways. It just can't happen.
It's gonna still happen. It's just weird to say you guys need to be 6 feet apart, but yet when you line up, when you're in the huddle, when you're tackling, then it's fine. It's fine to not.
It's gonna be on. It's for TV purposes.
Okay,
that's not official, but I'm just saying I 99% sure. Like I'm sure it's that.
Probably not with the backlash, right?
Yeah. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to. They're trying to cover all bases, and I get that as a business.
People's mouths.
Like if you can reduce that as much as possible in our world, their world, anything, that's smart. Like I don't want to hear it.
Okay. So somebody who should have worried about hearing people's mouths and watched what he posted was Deshaun Jackson.
Yes.
Posted some anti-Semitic comments. Basically,
you want to give a little background on that?
Yeah, he was trying to. He was first of all he was saying a Hitler quote.
Yes. What was the setting? Like, where was this? How did he relay this message?
Well, it was on Twitter, and somebody said something that he retweeted, right? And it was, first of all, it's some debate if Hitler actually said this. I think the Hitler didn't actually say this, but basically, it was trying to empower Black people by saying that the Jewish community will blackmail you, and we're the true children of Israel, and we will notice them and stopping them from basically like overthrowing America or something like that. I'm paraphrasing it. Which was crazy because I understand in this time frame telling Black people their power, telling our power, our voice, our financial power. But to do it in a way, first of all, to quote Hitler, you already lost here, right?
Immediately.
Even the dog, when you hear Hitler,
yes,
starts barking. But even all right. To Hitler, you're already doing it bad. But to bring a group of people down who went through their own trials and tribulations.
Very much so, actually. Yeah.
What do you think about that? I'm gonna mute real quick while you talk.
Yeah. Okay. I think that first of all, watch what you say. Period. Don't say it at all. He shouldn't have said it at all. But the whole Twitter thing, it's kind of like the same thing with the interview with it's not the same, but it's just taking the principle of Drew Brees. Drew Brees saying something during this time when you didn't need to say it, or you shouldn't say it, period. It was wrong. It was just wrongly timed, all that stuff. And then with this, don't bring other people down, just like other players are saying. And I agree too. Why are you bringing other people down to lift you up? Let's stop being crabs in a barrel. Meaning, if you've ever seen a crab in a barrel, they will try and climb to the top, but while they're doing that, they will pull down their own. We need to stop doing that. We need to stop doing that, period. Like, as human people, like human beings, and then honestly in the Black community, we need to stop pulling people down. Whether it be Black towards Black or Black towards Jewish, whatever. They went through a huge struggle as well. Like,
it just wasn't smart, man. It just it goes to the stereotype that they control everything, and they're all, like, I understand what Deshaun Jackson was trying to say, that he was just trying to say our power, but you didn't have to bring somebody down to do it, especially Steven Jackson.
He will always lose when you try to bring somebody down.
Yeah, and then Steven Jackson jumping in saying he's telling the truth. So Steven Jackson basically, because I read his thing on CNN when he was with Don Lemon. I listened to it. And he was like, I wasn't agreeing with the whole thing. I was just talking about Black people and their power.
What Steven Jackson are we talking about?
The basketball player, the ex-basketball player.
Captain Jack?
Yeah, Captain Jack. And it's like, why? But when you say he's telling the truth, you're saying he's telling the truth to the whole tweet. Not just, but you didn't say, oh, there's segments of it that was correct. You just said he's telling the truth. Like we can't, first of all, it hurts the movement because now people are going to be pointing negative to it when we do stuff like that. And when people say, like, what do people say about the Jewish community? They stick together, right?
Yes.
They keep the money within themselves is what they say.
Yes.
That's something that we could learn from.
I agree 100%. I agree. I'm not mad.
And I think we're just now learning about it because you hear about the Black business, support Black business. So we're learning from it. But that's not something we should put down because, you know, they have slavery, Holocaust. Like, I'm not about to get into which one's worse or whatever, but they all went through we all went through our trials.
I was saying early on this topic, yeah.
And we should not be doing that. We should not be doing that at all.
Yep. I agree. Yeah, that was poor on his behalf, and just don't everybody on athletes don't say anything on Twitter for the rest of 2020. Just be quiet.
Yeah, I do like Julian Edelman asked them.
I did see that.
To have a conversation with them. I think just bring them to a Jewish museum. I think if I read that correctly. Yeah. I did like that because people are trying to educate him, which I like. One thing I will say, though, before we move on from this topic is the Eagles. This is why Black people are mad at the Eagles, though, because the Eagles seem like hypocrites. Riley Cooper gets drunk, says the word several times, and you gave him a contract extension. Yeah. So I'm interested to see what does the Eagles do with this situation, because who would you say is a better wide receiver, Riley Cooper or Deshaun Jackson? You're a Florida Gator fan. I plug Florida Gator for you. You're a Florida Gator. Who's better?
That one hurt though, man, like crazy, because like Coop, man, was the truth in college and actually in the pros. Deshaun knows better.
Yes. So you gave Riley Cooper for saying the N-word twice. You gave him a contract extension. I'm just interested to see what you're going to do here. I mean, I'm fine if you suspend him for a game or something. I'm fine with it, but you look extremely hypocritical.
Suspend it. I mean,
I think, like making the team look bad, but like Antonio Brown, he didn't do nothing illegal, but he made the team look bad. So it's something like that. But I'm just interested on the punishment. If it wasn't for the Riley Cooper situation, we wouldn't bring it up. But it's just interesting that Riley Cooper got a contract. Basically, a slap on the wrist. He basically got a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson. This is Deshaun. I keep saying Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Jackson. I'm interested to see what the actual punishment for him is.
Yeah. Yeah, right. We'll see.
We'll see. But speaking of punishment, this is the final topic.
Yep.
The WNBA is going to hit close to home with the co-founder of the Dream.
Yep.
Kelly Loeffler is her name.
Yep. Minority owner handles majority of the day-to-day operations.
Yeah, she actually stepped down from handling the day-to-day. She made some comments basically to the commissioner that she did not want like Black Lives Matter and all the stuff around the arena and the court, because she wanted to keep politics out of sports.
I think it was deeper than that, though.
Yeah, I think she does.
Was what you're saying.
Yeah, she's a Republican senator, and she doesn't back Black Lives Matter. You
kind of have to actually say that part, because the other part was like, oh, I understand. She doesn't want politics or whatever in, sports. Like, some people will be like, that's fair, but you have to say the other side that she doesn't actually back.
Oh, and here's her tweet. My message is simple. We should unite around the American flag. We should keep politics out of sports. We shouldn't promote movements, this is very important, that encourage violence.
So, yes. Yes. So, what's bad with this, guys, is she is one of the owners of the Atlanta Dream.
Right.
Majority of the players are black.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you're affecting everything what the NBA and WNBA is trying to do.
Right.
So you're stalling or holding back this movement of equality. Let's call it what it is, equality. So people, including Sue Bird, who is white, is saying that she should step down, or not even just that, the WNBA should remove her.
Yep, Candace Parker said it. Skylar Diggins said it, that she needs to be removed. It's I have a Yahoo article that says she will not sell her share of the Atlanta Dream.
But the other dude, the majority of the person said that he's willing to buy out the rest.
Right.
Yes.
Who said? Baron Davis said he's willing to buy her share too.
Does Baron Davis have that type of money anymore?
I don't know. I was shocked when he said it. But
good, sir.
do you think like people will not play for her?
I don't know how you handle that.
Like, what if players?
I don't know how you handle that with the WNBA not having as big as contracts as NBA for you to really be sitting out like that.
This is why I said remember we said about Maya Moore yesterday. I mean, last week, Maya Moore. But if they all band together, like the funny thing is, she said we should have things that unite us. Like majority of the WNBA is united under the Black Lives Matter movement. So and then, like you said, the Black Lives Matter movement is about uniting. It's about equality. Yep. So the fact that you're against it shows me you're not.
You're not about it.
You're saying keep politics off of the flag, but yet you want people to stand. I mean, you want politics out of sports, but you want people united around the American flag, which
and not united together, because we know that there's not unity.
Yeah, especially off the American flag right now, just like what we say people celebrate 4th of July. What as black people will say, well, we wasn't free in 1776. So you can't celebrate something that we all weren't free. If we all don't feel the same for the flag, I think, and then you knew what this comment, I'm so ashamed. Have you, not ashamed, that was a bad word. Are you, how many times have you seen a video of some white woman going crazy, right? And I'm shocked to know that how many times you have to be put on camera, how many times you have to be documented, lose your job, and then next day I see the next white person. And I'm so shocked about it. Even if she felt this way, the fact that she would say something about it and risk the livelihood, the Atlanta, and then you're Atlanta.
That's what I'm saying.
Population.
That's why I put out that emphasis that she is a minority owner of the Atlanta dream. Might I add, I told you this. Dream. Martin Luther King. They were named after the I Have a Dream speech.
You did say that.
What is going on here? You're working, Miss Ma'am. You're working for the wrong organization based off of location and name alone. Dream and Atlanta. You're all out of whack.
Do you think they'll remove her?
If they keep rallying, if not, I'm sorry. It's kind of like the Washington Redskins. People will forget.
No, I don't. I think enough players will. No,
I'm saying if they keep rallying and if they keep going, yes. But I'm saying if they be quiet,
right,
people in the mainstream will forget.
Exactly. But I don't think that will happen because remember Donald Sterling, the Clippers were planning to not play that game.
Oh wow!
They were planning to not play until he was removed.
Yeah.
Luckily, it didn't get to that because the NBA removed him. The WNBA needs to remove her because if you're going to risk players not playing, they have to remove her.
Yep, in due time, we'll see. Something of the matter is going to happen.
I think it's interesting. I tell people, stop explaining what Black Lives Matter means. Stop explaining it because if you don't know by now, you don't want to know.
That's it.
Yeah, so stop explaining. She knew what she was doing. She has seen enough rhetoric to know what Lives Matter means. She just doesn't. She doesn't care. We don't cuss, so I'm not gonna cuss on here.
Agree.
But she doesn't care. So the fact that she doesn't care, she needs to be removed. She doesn't care about the Black Lives, what it really means. She don't care about our black players that are on the team. She don't care about none of that. She needs to be removed, man. And I need by this weekend, we need to have a report that she's being removed.
That's true. You're right. There's a lot going on with the WNBA in regards to them in their season 2, but we can hold that for next time because their whole little bubble's not looking all that good.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
Yep, that's it. All right, guys. Another hour in the books.
Yes.
So, thank you guys so much for joining us for another jam-packed episode. This was fun. It always breezes by really quick. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it watching and listening as well. Right. You guys can check us out at Third String Podcast on SoundCloud. Links all in the description down below. And Third String Podcast on YouTube. Same thing. Links in the description below for SoundCloud, YouTube, SoundCloud, vice versa. Also, Third String Podcast on Instagram. We stay super active on there now. It's been super good and thriving. Guys, check us out on there and follow. And also 3RD String Pod at for Twitter, all that good stuff. And then just, keep up with us. So we'll be back next week with another episode. Make sure you guys subscribe and follow. Thank you guys again. Till next time, guys.
Peace.
Peace.
Sorry for my dog.